And when he was asked by a reporter, actually, how did it feel to fail 1,000 times? He said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb invention has 1,000 steps.
Yeah.
I think this is a very, very important mindset of experiment. A recent example, let me quote. I was reading about metaverse selling virtual real estate, renting virtual spaces, virtual malls, shops. The answer is, you don't know, 20 years down the line, this may become a business actually. Virtual real estate may become business. There may be, like we have got cyber lawyers or cyber crimes, we may have actually lawyers specializing in real estate business in virtual domain. So possibilities are immense, but if we close our mind, this looks stupid, this is not possible, then it won't happen. So beginner's mindset, example, what you said, what I like, the world will like, it is both true and false actually. Many of the great innovations have occurred because you face some problem and you try to solve it, and then you think the world also will need such a solution. It is possible. Another way is to look at is actually empathize with all others, your actual users, your people who are going to use that, get into their shoes, understand and try to create an innovation. Both are possible. Let me, and this is what we call one of the fundamental tenets in the design thinking as a systematic process or methodology. It starts with empathy. Correct. Empathy.
And that's where the revelations would also happen. Maybe I'm trying to solve the wrong problem altogether.
Yeah. Actually, what is the right problem to solve, wrong problem to solve is also actually a method of experimentation. That brings to the other point of experiments as a method of innovation actually, because no innovation happens right in the first time.
This is a big debate as well happening for the bootstrap, the startup ventures, for example, for young entrepreneurs. Okay? Once you talk about the success is coming after 1,000 reiterations, and then someone would understand that I have to be in this game for a longer game. And then the second line of thought which comes is, you have to know when to get out as well.
And just ideas don't mean innovation, because that becomes a thought experiment at the most. Everyone I'm sure has got hundreds of ideas, but how to solve it, doing experiments systematically and trying to solve and then finally solving is where the proof of the pudding is. The third most important thing, many people misinterpret innovation has got two aspects of, one is inspiration, another is perspiration. Both are important. Otherwise, you can dream of a lot of ideas, but to really do that, realize that solution through experiment.
Sometimes the innovators fall into the dilemma of as well, falling in love with your own idea. That's where, even though you create an hypothesis and you prove wrong, but you again try to prove it right. And I have seen it in my experience as well. So I know how the mind manipulates that. It's your own baby. How can you just
It's not an experiment without knowing what I want, or it's not to prove what I want. It is actually going with an open mind, but with an hypothesis. I have made an assumption. This is what people want to do. This is the problem people want to solve. Write down the assumption and create an experiment to validate that. Yes. So I would say this is the definition I like, that it's a creative idea that is new, valuable and realized. So